I do apologise for the state of the house, but I promised I'd get you something, and I'm getting you this. It's that. And no, not you, Loki. I'm surrounded by birds at the moment. That's okay. Oh, hello. Tell you what I have to deal with at the moment. Max. Right. The house is absolutely appalling, and I apologise. Trying to look after two birds, a daughter, and another daughter occasionally, and me, and I refer to myself as a 500-pound gorilla. There you go, mate. That's right. You're seeing Max here. He's just coming up to me and saying, I want some affection, because he's getting pretty good at it. Now, you know not to run with scissors, don't you, Max? Yeah? Right. Oh, the like has appeared. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start everything on its way. So do you know what this bad boy is? One of them... Oh, my selections. Check this one out. I'm going to have a bit of fun with this guy. And this is one that I did earlier. Actually, it did itself, basically. So that's what we're dealing with. Shall we wet it? This one's going to pretty much crumble, I reckon. Before we do that, I'll show you this. This is Max. I'm going to move that. You're not going to like it. Trying to sweep up whilst birds are around is just ridiculous. Yeah, I know. Yes, salacious. My sacroiliacs. I don't think that's what you're talking about, but I'm going to say that anyway. I had to yank a feather from Max's head just recently. But this is what I'm dealing with. These birds are out here. I'm not blaming my daughter. She's just gone upstairs doing something that I asked her to do. But she forgot that she promised to put the birds away. Yeah, he's a happy little chappy. To be honest, I don't provoke him, but I kind of know his cues. And so I sort of behave in a way which I know will get a predictable result. We'll leave it at that. It's not manipulation so much as, well, manipulation. He's still quite the wild bird, don't get me wrong, but he's getting so much better. At any rate, cool thing is I've got these. We'll wet this, and that's going to pretty much disintegrate it, I'm pretty certain. It looks lovely though, doesn't it? You can see how it's just so crumbly. But I've got another Yowah here, and the reason why... Oh, incidentally, I had a fight with ChatGPT just to get the right to call it a nut, because apparently that's just too rude for YouTube. Don't worry, I've got ways of making them pay. Oh yeah, 2 likes already. Cool. Alright, so what I thought is funny though, I've got this scale here, and these things, how do I put this? Can you not? Can you not? I was just before we do everything else, Max has noticed something. What I've done here is, so guinea pig food, what I've discovered is if you look at the protein and the nutrition content, it's exactly the same. Basically, they get everything, they squish it into pellets, and then they sell it according to the animal. Yeah, thanks for that. Do you want to try one? Here, I don't trust you. Does it taste like the same food? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So basically what we do when we're selecting our food for our animals, it's all the same pellets, I'm not joking. So you've got to do a calculus. Which animal does humanity hate the worst? Apparently rabbits and guinea pigs, because they're the cheapest. Want to try some more? There you go. Do you reckon that tastes like a rabbit? Anyway, I'll be getting these in bulk, 20 kilos odd. And hopefully this will keep little muggins here at bay. Actually, I'll show you something else whilst I'm here. This is naughty, because this is a rule that you're not supposed to break, but who cares? You know, YouTube, all rules are not sacred, except apparently using the N word. And I'm not talking about that N word either. Max knows what's coming. Here you go, buddy. There you go. That's important in its own right, because he's very bad with hand feeding. And this thing is big enough to not, you know, be tempted to eat me. But it's small enough. What have you just done, Loki? Basically, something fell off, and it was probably related to my clothing. Right, here we go. Anywho, we've got stuff here. Those birds will keep going, and you'll see that as the birds keep going around and as children keep coming along, the house will degenerate into more and more caves. But what I'll do, here we go, flip this around. I think this is like that. So we've got a scale here. I can never remember which one it is. There we go. There we go. So we've got that. Good. 800 grams. Nearly a kilo. That's about 2 pounds. So let me see if we can convert this into carrots. Is that the button? Nope. Is that the button? Nope. What about this button? Here we go. Can you not eat my keys? What are we up to? Mils. Oh, great. Apparently we can measure this in mils, milk, grams, kilograms. Oh, it doesn't do carrots. That's annoying. All right, well, apparently it's 5 grams per carrot. So we multiply it by 5. 4,000 carrots. How's that? 4,000 carrots of opal going once, going twice, going 3 times. Oh! Let's give this one a bit of a wet and see what happens. Then we'll try and get these birds away. Here, Max, you want to try a Yowah nut? There you go, try that. Try that. Loves it. That's what I call rich food. Ba-da-da-ba-da-bum. Okay. Don't see very much. That's the thing about Yowah nuts. They're sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes in between. Yep, that's right. But I was trying to get it to do the calculations. I was trying to be lazy. What did I say? Did I say it was 4,000 or 40,000? It's very hard to do calculations when you're live. Oh yeah, there's a little bit there. Might be able to do something with this. Loki's just going, you gave some of that opal to Max, why can't I have some? I'm like, fine, you can have some opal to eat as well. Here, hang on. It's quite sturdy actually. Do you mind if I go over to the... Can I just grab that piece of opal there, Max? Thank you, buddy. There you go. There you go. There we go. They're all eating opal. Now, if you're interested, that's not bad for them. They actually have to have rocks in their gizzards. Not to mention the fact that they crave minerals, and this has got iron and uranium and magnesium and cesium and arsenic and whatever else that the birds find attractive. But what we'll do is we'll take this open and we'll try and find a way of cracking this bad boy. But first things first, we've got to go get these birds away. Maxie Bubba, do you want to go back in your cage, bub? Do you want to go back in your cage? Okay. This is my hand. This is the scratching hand. You know the whole scratching thing? Yeah, good. And yes, they put the papers on the ground. I'm sorry about that. Bit disorganised today. Yeah. That's the way. Now, if he gets on my arm, that'll be a bloody miracle. So here we go. Going to get on my arm? Going to get on my arm? Get on my arm? Get on my arm? If he does, it'll be a first, by the way, guys. No, scratch me, you. That is a replacement for swearing. Hello. I mean, sometimes you're sitting there, you're going, you're being naughty, but it's kind of nice. Thanks. Yeah. Cute and destructive. They've been destroying the house today, and I've just got to watch them like a hawk because, well, not quite like a hawk because hawks eat them, but you know, you get the general gist. Yeah. This is Loki up here eating an opal. Hello there, Carolina. There's no one here. Oh, you poor thing. I understand that. Single dad and all, I get that. So I'm just scratching Max, and so it's not looking like much action is going on, but there's plenty. I'll just have to describe it. Finger going to the crest region of the bird. Bird's going, I'm really, really cute, please scratch me. I go, fine, I'll scratch you, little bird. And the bird goes, excellent. Now I'm giving you kind eyes, but at some point in time, I'm going to bite you, and it's going to hurt. There you go. Now, what I could do to influence Max to go to the cage, which I don't want to do, if I picked up those keys, the shock would actually make him go for safety, but I don't really want to do that. There you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a bit of an incentivization. And when I put Loki in, Max should get the hint. Yoink. Good bird, Loki. In you go. Oh, what a good birdie you are, huh? Good birdie. Very good. Very good. Scratchy poo? No. Rack off, he says. Perfectly happy to go in there. Just a quick note on birds and psychology and all that. Believe it or not, birds feel safer when they're confined. It's just when you're being nasty to them, they don't like it. So give them lots to do, give them a feeling of safety. Cage is not a problem. So I'll leave this out here and I'll put this, bring this with me. I'll give you a bit of a hint. That's not the only one. You are on top of a lot of my nuts at the moment. Here we go. Let me show you this. And what have we down here? Believe it or not, bird food. Because they like to eat them. So let's see if we can get some of these. Some of these other ones. Oh, I know this guy. Is this Constable? Oh, I know this guy. This is a great bloke. I'm so glad I bought them. I just bought a random lot on eBay, you see. I didn't realise I bought them from this guy. But he's an absolute bloody legend, so great. I'm happy. So that's those. What we'll do is we'll just take these two because it's going to be tough. I'll figure out a way to crack them later. All of them, that is. All of them, that is. Oh, hello, Pony. What are you doing at? Like and subscribe. Whoa, what was that? Not yet, Pony. Yoink. Right. So, let's have a little bit of a chat, shall we? We'll take these two nuts out. I didn't realise. This is just dodge. I didn't realise. Have a look at this. I didn't even think. So suggestive. What am I doing? I suppose it's probably good that you can't open your bag of nuts. Here we go. Those are absolutely stunning. Now, I haven't actually cracked one of these before, so it's going to be a first with you and me. What I suggest we do is we'll crack these open, see what's in them, and then we'll go and have a look at some of these other things because we've got words to discuss about some other opals which may well be precious opals. So I'll see what we've got. Let's crack open the nut. Anyone know the nutcracker sleep? These are not going to go lightly. Also good news is that if it's going too quickly like it is at the moment, not good. Over distance is good. Yeah, well, showing you now, so I can sense that these nuts have got very different layers in them. That's important because when you're polishing them, it's good to know that as you're going through layers, you're going to go through different, you're going to go through different thicknesses and different textures. Nearly through it. This better be worth it. You should see all the mud. Because this isn't just any old rock, this is ironstone. Basically rust. Not as easy as it looks this thing, folks. First, the good news is that most likely this soil that's coming off will be kaolinite, which is the kind of the same stuff you put on your mud packs for your face with the cucumbers and stuff. all I need is a couple of cucumbers and I can tell people, oh, I'm just moisturising my hand with ironstone and cucumber. That even sounds good, doesn't it? That's so marketing. Oh yes, it's naturally sourced ironstone and cucumber relish. Come on. Haven't got all night. Don't do that for too long, I'll melt the thing. There you go. Come on, you can do it. Where is it? There you are. Come on. Get cracking. Yeah, here we go. In case you haven't worked this out already, boulder ain't my thing normally. Got stuck good and it flung free. Let's see if we can get that working. The Dremel just fell off, folks. It's okay. I'm just fixing it up again. This is quite a tough to crack, so to speak. So have a quick look and see how much is left to go. Not much left to go. Hopefully we'll just get this last bit done. I'll just clean this down. Like I said, I don't normally do bolt This is one of the reasons, actually. It's messy, it's tough, and it breaks your stuff. Oh, that all rhymes. It's messy, it's tough, it breaks your stuff. It's messy, it's tough, it breaks your stuff. It makes you sing a little tune. Makes YouTube watchers watch this loon. Okay. I think everything's still okay. I've very nearly stripped my my tool, but there's no way of saying any of this nicely. I can guarantee that. All right, here we go. There's the button. Give me a second, guys, because that's actually detached. Unmotivated mechanic is going to come to the rescue. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, that's a lot of nasty. It's okay. It's just the thread got stripped a little bit when it bit. So, and it's kind of like a bronze head. So when you retighten it, it just sits there and spins and, you know, sheds bronze basically. So here we go. Unmotivated engineer is just coming in with the spanner attachment. That will be $500. No guarantees it will actually hold. Thanks, unmotivated engineer. Okay, okay. What I'm trying to do now is just make sure that this thing stays put so that we don't have more further incidences. That's actually pretty good. So, okay, it helps if you actually attach the darn thing. At least it's working. Tell me, is anyone who actually knows anything about Dremel tools here? Because I'd rather you didn't see that. Just got to straighten it out. Come on, it's all good. I'll flip this around whilst we're waiting. Basically, I'm struggling with this. The thread came out, and that's not a problem, but you've got to be able to fit it back in. In order to do that, you need to straighten out the tool, and you've got to make sure that it's not rubbing against anything, or else you're going to have a tool that will function for approximately 15 seconds, and then violence and sparks, which is great cinematography for YouTube, but not so much great for me. So I'm just sitting here gradually just straightening out the thing as best I can, because it's all still attached. It's probably not as good for everything as you might think. There's just a little bit of a kink on the way through, which is probably why some of this happened in the first place. There, it's that bit there. Rightio. Okay, through you get. Let's see if that fixes things. There we go, good. This thing. It's like I'm doing an endoscope. Oh yes, and the patient, we're just going right up the clacker. There we go. No, don't worry, Mrs. Stevens, you won't feel a thing. That's your imagination. Burning pain doesn't happen. I'm diagnosing you as a wiener. That's right. There we go. That's up and running. That's going there. That's going here. Let's see if that all works out. What I'm trying to do is just make sure that this thing doesn't fall off. There's a certain way you got to hang it. I didn't realise it was that brittle. Right, let's see if this turns on again. Turn it on to a lower setting so that we don't break everything. Okay, what that's telling me is that it needs to be straightened out. Straighten out. Just to explain what's going on here, you've got to be very careful with the straightness of the path or else you break things. And so ordinarily I'm quite light-hearted with my stuff, but I've only got one of these. So I can go to Bunnings and get one tomorrow, but it's kind of like 1 a.m.-ish, so that's not an option at the moment. Unless someone can, like, you know, mail me one super fast. I literally created a thing to make this not happen this way. This is what we call anecdotal evidence that didn't quite work out. So, what level are we on? Oh, on 1. Next question is, why did it suddenly go loose? That's something we'll have to worry about later. We're back up and running, ladies and gentlemen. Back up and running. Finally, let's have a look at it. That better be worth. Pardon me. They better have been worth it. Are we ready to see? I'll just give it a bit of a rub down. Right, so let's try and get this whole thing sorted out and have a look at what it looks like. Wipe down the screen so we can do a proper reveal. Sorry to keep you in suspense. I'm not meaning to keep you in suspense. I just want you to see it properly. Okay, it's deliberate. I planned to be this disorganized. Okay. I've literally run out of towels. That's hilarious. I couldn't have, made it more frictionless if I tried. There we go. That's looking good. Now let's just quick wipe it and wash it again. And let's have a look at this Yowah nut. If anybody who wants to be a content creator is watching, that's how you do it. And that's what it looks like now. Ooh, definitely not doing another one on the live stream tonight. Not bad. I'm just having a look at it myself. What I would say about it is it's definitely a Yowah nut. What we'll do, we'll have a look at this. There was some material that came off and dropped down, so we'll see if we can find it. That could well, this stuff, by the way, it could well be gold bearing, in case you're interested. It's another feature of Yowah nuts that people don't necessarily realise, because it's ironstone, and that's a good gold bearing stone. Well, in Australia, basically any stone in Australia is gold bearing, but you get the gist. Can't find the little fragments that came off it. Oh well. Oh, there's one. There's two. There's three. Let's have a look at them, because I have a suspicion these are not bad. We'll wash them down, and we'll give them a bit of a careful clean on the Dremel, and we'll see if we can get these eggs to hatch, so to speak. Turn this down, because we don't need it quite so destroy the Dremel-y. Do you reckon YouTube would ban me for IP if I played the nutbush whilst I was doing this? Or would people just hate me generally speaking? Wash, and we'll have a look at it. So it's a nice little chocolatey shell. Now, basically what we'll... looks edible, doesn't it? Nom nom nom. Yeah, so what I can tell you about these things, chemically speaking, in case you're interested, these are... the yellow is actually iron 3, I do believe, and the red is iron 2. The yellow is more mobile, so that'll just go away, and that explains why the shell is the way it is. It's ready to come off because, well, it's eroding away the moment it changes its oxidation state. 6 people just go, we're talking about iron's oxidation state, I'm out of here. So you can see a little bit of opals just sitting in there, but it's not become that, vibrant opal that people are used to. But I can show you some vibrant opal. The rest of this evening will be vibrant opal cutting. Just having a quick look at this. We've got a little bit of opal that I might be able to tease out, but we'll have a look at it in the sunlight later. There we go. I mean, the good news about that is it's straight out a nice solid nut. So that's a good result in that regard. I might have to remove some of this extra material to make it nice and symmetrical, but it's a good result to have it like that. So I'm happy with that. That can easily go into some hoop earrings or whatever else. It is opal, just a little bit different from most things. the reason why this matrix is hanging around is literally because it's got opal in it, and the silica is actually stabilizing everything. And you can see there's a little bit of opal doing its thing just over here. It's a pretty neat little opal. I'll have a quick look at the other side, wherever I put that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not having a look at the other side because I've very cleverly and smartly put down in a place I can't discover. I'm clever like that. What we'll do is we'll grab a few other opals. For example, this guy. I'll wash it down. And there's just going to be a brief interlude whilst I readjust the area because it's going to be extremely messy unless I clean it down now. But don't you worry, I have all this equipment here. Well, most of the equipment. I would require a bit more water, but yeah, whatever. And here goes nothing. Here we go. Like I said, a bit more water would be nice. Brilliant. Just quickly wipe that down and I think we're ready to go. Just basically smear it first, so you'll have a bit of a smeary smear, and then move all this stuff to a nicer place. Heaven must be there. It's just gotta be there. It's heaven. I don't wanna live in this place. You want to know what happens before every live stream? Something like this. What fun it is. Still want to be a YouTuber? Alright. We don't have to make it pristine perfect, we just need to make it acceptable. And yeah, I thought so. That is about to... How smooth is it? Pretty darn smooth. We'll see how it goes. Might have to change the blade. I'm going to check to see if there's a spare blade just under here. I think there is. Worst comes to worst, I've got a small blade I can change. So I'll have that out and ready. Got two blades, tiny little blades. They will work, so can't complain. Just found a larger blade. Good. So if it doesn't work out, we can change the blades too. Preparation. I am the opposite of a Boy Scout. Okay, here we go. Can't have it going at that speed. there and just up here. There you go. See if we can get more of it. Banded this time, move on to another one. Some regions, bit of a knobby. Another light, thank you. Another one. The reason I'm being careful here with what looks like a tiny piece of opal is because this is where the colour will be. I'll explain in a second. I'm not saying it will be 100% guaranteed, I'm just saying if it is there, it will be here. very small amount of colour from there. Let's have a look. And some breakage. Good. Let's try having a look in here. There it is. Just going to have a look underneath the light. Now I'm going to plug up the wall. That's just in case the machine wanted to overheat. I don't think it will, just being cautious. Wipe this down. Much better. So the question, of course, is, are we getting into the precious opal? What we are getting into is something called cherry cream. There we go. Remember, cherry cream pattern. Much better. Stay where you are. Sand infiltrated too far, so it's not going to make a pattern out of it. But don't worry, we've got a little bit more to work with here. We've got two sides. We've got this side here, we've got this side here. This is what I consider the promising side. But you shouldn't be silly and just assume that you're right. You should check all of it. Still don't know. Does everyone know that joke? What you call a blind deer in the woods? No idea. He doesn't have any legs? Still no idea. I'll get my coat. We still have a slightly possessed machine here, so that will add to the fun. It is. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. That's a good little opal. There we go. Let's just get this all off. We've got something. It's going to take me a bit to clean it up, but yes, we've got something. Yeah, there's something here. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm considering it simply a picture stain at the moment, but I think it'll be more than that. Aha. Because this side's less worn. In case you were wondering. Still got boulder opal on my hands. Quite frankly, I look like I'm in the 60s auditioning for a play that will be banned a decade later. Now we'll be just to try and find an opal that has got some colour in it. We've got plenty, just got to find one. So I just got one. Yeah, this is what they call the ironstone cap. So it's ridiculously stable. That's why it's cheap, because people don't really want to spend a lot of effort cutting through this. What was that? Can you have a look? No, I thought I had something good. Don't think I did. Don't. There we go. Moving on up to another opal. I'll just pick this off the ground. Now we're moving on. See if this one does anything, and then if I've got plenty more than this, and if this is best I've got in this particular group, I'll find another one because this is, it didn't look particularly appealing, put it that way. Let's have a look. Not bad, but let's just keep moving on. Using the bells, try and find my good one. Should be a few around. Right. This bad boy. Just moved it slightly to the side in the hopes that that doesn't get as obscured as often. Zoom in. To the side, let's go. Looks like we're producing some nice beautiful potch, but I'm not in the potch game, am I? So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look around, see if we can find some other things in a minute. There's plenty. It's just the Yowah nuts came and I absolutely had to go and cut mine open. So it was mostly centered around the Yowah nuts. What I might do is I might I'll sort it out so they're mostly done next time, so we just kind of have a symbolic shearing through the last bit. Has only 2 buttons, stop and go. Look at that, that's beautiful. That gives me an idea of what's going on here. Let's try and just get this little bit done. This is extremely sensitive to heat. What happened was that the machine sped up and all of a sudden the opal's like, no, I'm not taking this. Bam, smash. Am I upset? Not particularly. What I'm doing is I'm pushing the very cheap margins, which means that I'm using cheap equipment, cheap opals, cheap cheesy grins, all of that, and it's the hope that I get a nice payout from at least one of the stones of several kilos. To give you an idea, I would say I've got nearly 4 kilos of opals, and I paid maybe $1,000. So $250 a kilo. And the Yowah nuts are another 2 or 3 kilos. So yeah, 6 kilos for $1,000. You can go do the math. About $150 a kilo. Now, at that price, you're not getting the creme de la creme, shall we say, but you are getting good opal. And I've been talking about it recently, and I've been going, okay, how do you get what would be considered an ordinary opal, and how do you get as much value out of it as possible? And I realise there's a few things that I do. One of the things is that you don't particularly care about the stuff that we get. You care a little bit. You care more about the dealer. You see what they look like, you see what they're buying, you see what they're selling. You buy a few things off them, you calibrate what you buy off what they give you. Have a look at their top-notch stock, then have a look at their offcuts. So if you can get a good bulk price for what looks like some decent opal, then that's how you do it. You have to buy the opal at some point, though. And that's where the real risk sets in, because there's no going back. Well, there is. You can return the opal, but you have to post it back. I've never returned an opal. Never. I can't say I've never been ripped off by an opal, but I can say I've never returned one. So once you have your supply of opal, what you've got to do is you've got to go and assess it. And I was doing some of that yesterday. I'll show you a little bit of that process today as well. Because that process is important. process of selecting your opal is a win or lose game. And if you have a think about it, have a look at the opal that I've got here. It's really quite flat. That means it's only got one or two sides actually going to land on. That's an important consideration. That means that the sides completely undeserved. So I just find another. Like the Yowah nuts, it's so messy that they've quickly used up all my supply of cloth. That's beautiful opal. So go check to see if it's going to crack. I think that's webbing, it's not cracks. But you've got to be careful with these. This is one thing people forget, that opals sometimes have equal value as picture stones. Now you've got to be lucky. They've got to really be good picture stones. You can't just say, well, look, I think it's a devil and a woman lying in a pool of blood or something. You can't say that. What you've got to do is you've got to see that there's a tangible kind of scenery set up here. Oh, 5 likes. Thank you, guys. Trouble is, I'm playing whack-a-mole with this sand. Every time I get a piece of sand off, a new batch arrives, and I don't want to just have black opal unless I'm double hitting. I want to have a nice pattern there. Have a look. Yeah, there's a bit of a crack there. So what I'll do is I'll abandon that guy and I'll try and find a nice one. We'll talk a little bit about how to identify good opal. What say you on that little topic? So I'll zoom out a little bit. Whoop. So I've got this guy here, not bad. This guy here, not bad. I'm definitely looking through this. There's a chunk of sand there. Can you see that sand layer? I'll cut through that because I'm very interested in that. This one was pre-rubbed, so this guy's obviously found something, and so there's signal already speaking to me in this particular one. If I remember correctly, that signal is actually dipping towards the end of the opal. So that's actually good, but I won't do that today. I need to have some sunlight to do that. This piece here has got another band there. I might cut that one almost immediately. This one here will have a look through it as well. One of these should have something at least. And some of these have got some good opal in them straight away. I'm trying to find them. It's always a case of the demonstration principle. You can never find the thing you're looking for. And in this low light environment, it's actually harder to find the right opals. It actually takes some skill to find opals in a low light environment that will work well in a high light environment. Grab that one too. Alright. Can't see what I'm trying to do. Grab that one too. Alright. Got this one here. First things first, we'll just take the edge off this guy. What I'm doing is I'm actually using the stone itself as a guide, so it simultaneously smooths this bit whilst I'm removing the sandy section here. think I have to cut through this. Don't want to, I have to. One of the rules is, if you think you probably need to slice the opal, then you do, because there's no way you want to make the opal smaller, not really. So if there's something in your head telling you maybe I should slice it, you should slice it. Have a look at this. Picture we're getting right out of the stone. We'll move on to the next one. This guy here. See if we can get out of that. Intriguingly, I wonder if that's it looks like Anamuka Matrix. We'll see what goes on. If it's not, it might be pipe opal. I know I'm going just saying names at the moment, but just trying to figure out what's going on in my head first. Because as far as I know, this is Lightning Ridge, but it's definitely not behaving like Lightning Ridge. It's crumbling a lot. That's okay. I was lost in my own little world there, guys. Sorry about that. Did I talk to myself? Did I answer back? I can replay and see what kind of craziness I went through. I think I was just doing nothing. Other than cutting opals, of course. Which is kind of serendipitous, seeing this is kind of an opal cutting channel. I reckon, just between you and me, and maybe an opal cutting channel should be cutting opals. Yeah, I know. Could well be Iron Band. I think this is definitely the Iron Band, if I'm liking Ridge, of course. I don't think you hear much about Iron Band on the regular channels, do you? So what I might do is I might have to give you a brief explanation of what actually goes on in the mines. There's several things that they use to determine where the opal is. A few features. One of them is a blow, which is basically probably closely related to a slump, really. A whole heap of unconsolidated material just kind of jumbles into one spot. That's where they want to mine for the opals. Once they found that, unconsolidated material over the last couple of million years has actually consolidated into quite a hard amount of stuff, and on top of that is this material, very tough, very unforgiving iron band. Underneath this iron band you start getting the real opal. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm just trying to formalise this iron band, if indeed that is what it is. And I might even, should I not? Let's give it a go. If this doesn't work out, it's not that good an opal, so, well, at the moment it's not. So it's okay. Now the reason the machine is struggling so hard is A, I've blundered it with whatever I was doing today. And B, this is really tough material. Woo! Hoping I haven't actually cut into the opal itself, but it's like 2 AM. I'm bound to make a mistake or two. Or 3 or 4, 5, 20. Oh dear. Thought so. I had bifurcated the object. Yay. I wish we tried to keep it down. Trouble is, I don't know where the top bit went. The usual trouble, isn't it? There we go. I think we're best off finding the other piece now. Nice and smooth though. Feels lovely. Try and see if it works out. Might. It is because the other piece went down here. And we'll do the rest of the business. I think this only works on the side, so you see it there, but you don't see it there. That's alright. Let's see what this other piece looks like if I can find the darn stuff. Got it there? Don't think so. Is that it there? Found it. Right, so that's the piece there. So look at the other side. Yeah, it's behaving pretty much like boulder opal, this stuff. But I think that's about the limit of my endurance. I've got to go back inside and warm up and prepare for the day tomorrow. Put them down there. Let me feel the blade. There still is a little bit of blade left, but not much. Just checking. Yeah, it's not doing too well. Oh well. Time to flip this thing around. That was a tough one. Yowah knots are not easy to deal with. After sitting down for an hour and what? Well, nearly 2 hours. Man. No wonder I'm feeling tired. Turn that off. I mean, That's my hand from dealing with the Yowah nuts. It looks like, I don't know, something like a murder at a plasticine factory, maybe. I'll just take this off. I love it when I cut the opals, but I also love it when I take the gear off because you feel a little bit human afterwards. Oh dear. Quickly wash my hands, sorry about this. Actually, I'll show you something. I don't often wear this, so I thought I'd show it to you. It's very old. This is my university jacket. You can see the brand on it, of course. It's very old. The birds have been eating the lining and stuff, and so it's slowly getting destroyed. And I'm going to actually get it remade because I won the Sophie prize for speaking when I was doing my dissertation. So it's a pleasant memory, and it's, you know, back in the days when people respected people and stuff. I.e. ego boost, basically. Yeah. Anyway. Would you like a scratchy poo, Max? Scratchy poo? Max would not like a scratchy poo. I've got to show you this. Yoink. Like you doing, huh? I'll try this again. We'll play the drama out. There we go. I want a scratch. I want me scratchies. I want me scratchies. Oh, now you want a scratch, do you? Jealousy's a curse, little fella. You alright? Alright. I want a scratch now. I think it's quite nice to get scratched. Yeah, well. Come on. Scratch your thing? Well, what do you want, man? Do you want to scratch or not? No. You bite me, I'll bite you. I think Max knows I mean business. Lovely. There you go. There you go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Give me that, give me that, give me that. Horsey, give me that, go, go, go. Arr. Here's an interesting development for you. When I was sorting out my opal, I just stuck some of the opal grit into their water because they needed stones to put into their gizzards. So these guys are literally eating opals at the bottom of their water. It's good for them. There's minerals in there. There's gypsum and all sorts of stuff. You see, he's looking quite healthy. Oh, of course. Here we go. Pony. Come here, pony. Yoink. It's okay, it's okay. Put it around. Do you know what we've got down here? Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. You be quiet now. Did you hear that? I couldn't believe my own ear holes. I thought that my bird just spoke the English language better than I can speak the English language. Like and subscribe. Yeah, you can see that. Here we go. Up we get. Yoink. You want to go and do some antics? Thank you. All right. Do you want to go back in? I can put you back in. Sorry, just a quick bit of it. Right. Done the bottom of the cage. I need to scrape out the perches though. Anyway, so, man. Oh, I swear on the grave of the person who invented the heuristic. If you know what they are, you know they're insidious. I swear on that guy's grave that it wasn't my voice. It was Pony's. So, honestly, if it was Pony's voice, then it's destiny. It was meant to be. Like and subscribe. I'm not lying at all, ever. Isn't that right, guys? I don't lie. I'm not sure they're the best witness. Anyway, that's it for this evening. I hope you guys had a good time. I certainly did. Time for me to hit the hay. And not with a boxing glove. Okay, have a nice evening. Dr. Phil out.